densely cheesy, cream cheesy. Hey everyone, Dave here, back in the kitchen, and today we're making the ultimate keto or carnivore breakfast fat bombs. And as always, guys, I like to have a combination of fancy cook stuff going on and total, like, I'm not a fancy cook at all, just kidding stuff going on. For example, we have one element here that's called black truffle oil that we're not gonna use on all the bites, but we are gonna try it on some. And so we're gonna have like an elevated bougie version and then a normal version, which is probably the one I'll like better, but we'll see. We're gonna try them both. You do need some shredded cheddar cheese though, so that's what we're first gonna do. We're gonna take some cheddar cheese and we're gonna shred it. Now I did go with the, again, moderately fancy Cabot. I'm pretty sure that's Michelin star approved, Michelin chef approved. Some Cabot cheese, but you can also just get the pre-shredded stuff if you prefer it that way as well and you don't wanna shred it. I was just feeling energetic today, so I was like, I'm gonna get it and shred it. And technically, people say it's better for you, but I don't know. You need 1/2 cup of shredded cheddar, and I think I have more than that, so I think I'm good to go. Yep, we're good. Okay, so let's set that aside. We'll come back to it. I gotta make sure I measure it when I actually use it. I just figured I'd do some prep work. Now, here's the other big prep thing you may not know or may not have done. You need hard-boiled eggs. Now, I was contemplating cooking these on the show, which I could have done. But yesterday I was making chicken salad, and chicken salad with eggs in it. It was like this copycat recipe from Chicken Salad Chick, that restaurant, and it needed hard-boiled eggs. So I was like, I'm just gonna hard-boil a bunch of eggs and peel them and have them ready for today. So they do sell pre-hard-boiled eggs if you don't know how to do it. If you do know how to do it, just boil some up. I always like to make a little extra because they're a really good snack if you're on keto or carnivore. Okay, so I've gotten a mixing bowl. I'm very Southern today. Mixing bowl, and I want to put some stuff in it. We're gonna combine all our ingredients. Now, I don't have all my ingredients ready. Sometimes I get them all ready first, sometimes I don't. Usually if I don't get all my ingredients ready first, I mess up the recipe, so let's see what happens. I just put my 1/2 cup of shredded cheese into this bowl, and up next we are going to add cream cheese that is softened. Mine isn't softened, so I might throw it in the microwave for 10 seconds. I'm pretty sure this is metal, so I gotta take it out of that. You know what? I was trying to figure out how many ounces would be a 1/2 cup, but I was thinking, is a cup 16 ounces and this is 8 ounces, so wouldn't that be the whole thing? But at the same time, it looks bigger than 1/2 cup, so I don't know. I must be mixing my measurements here. I'm just gonna do it the old-fashioned way and put it into the 1/2 cup and measure it. Why not? That's a little too little. Let me actually microwave it. I forgot about that part, just for a couple seconds to soften it. All right, I put that in for 10 seconds. It's quite a bit softer now. We then want to take 1/2 cup of unsalted butter. Wait, 1/2 cup or a 1/4 cup? A 1/4 cup of unsalted butter, just kidding. JK, LOL. I'm on AOL Instant Messenger again. 1/4 cup of, does it say fully melted or softened? Softened butter. Not melted, but softened. So take that. We're then gonna add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Now this is where it veers off carnivore, but I'm gonna give you an alternative you could use that should be just as good. Oh, I can't open it. Okay, there we go. So you want 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or 2 tablespoons of duck fat, which actually sounds kind of good, but I couldn't find it locally quickly. I'm always last minute. Don't stab yourself, Dave. I'm always last minute when I prepare these recipes, and there was none I could find and get in time. So I'm going with the coconut oil, even though it's more on the keto side than the carnivore side, but I wanted to give you an option if you are carnivore. So 2 tablespoons of coconut oil go into the mix. Coconut oil is weird, huh? 1 and, get out. 2. Now we wanna mix all this up. All right, so we're gonna mix it up with my little hand mixer here, and you want it to become smooth. That looks pretty smooth to me. All right, so to add some flavor to this, we're gonna do some garlic powder, a 1/4 teaspoon. I can't find my 1/4 teaspoon, as is typical. So, you know, I need to go to daveskitchenmarket.com and buy some, guys. Make sure you check out daveskitchenmarket.com. That's my website. I use the 1/8. I used it twice. 1/8 plus 1/8 is 1/4, I think. I hope. I haven't been to school in a while, but I think we should be good. But yeah, guys, make sure you go to Dave's Kitchen Market, my website, code Cooking with Dave. You save $5 off your first order. All right, then we need the same, well, we need a 1/4 teaspoon of smoked paprika as well. I love the idea of this, so I was sitting there like thinking about fat bombs, because I like fat bombs when I'm on keto or, you know, on low carb diets. Problem with a lot of them is like they're all dessert-y, and I was like, does anyone ever make like just a breakfast fat bomb or a lunch fat bomb or a dinner fat bomb. And so I started talking to ChatGPT to try to come up with a recipe for a breakfast fat bomb. Maybe we'll do lunch and dinner fat bombs if this video does well, but it'd be kind of cool to just have your fridge full of all these like 3 trays, breakfast, lunch, dinner, and there's literally fat bombs. Now, obviously you can't have too much fat, so I guess we'd have to be careful with that. If you go overboard, that could be no good. So I gotta think about that. I guess it would have to be a way to do it balanced where you could have one each day, or maybe you have a breakfast one day and a lunch one a different day and a dinner one. No, anyways, let's get back to it. We also wanna add a little salt and pepper, and then we mix it up. Oh, I just thought of a crucial thing we're missing, and that is bacon. We need some cooked up bacon, so I'm gonna head over to my skillet there and I'm gonna cook some bacon really quick. All right, so we've got our bacon here, the baconion. I don't need a ton of it. It says 6 slices of just standard cut bacon, cooked and chopped. So I'm just gonna get 6 slices out of here. We're gonna throw them onto the skillet over here and just lay those down. Oops. That's always a good sizzle. 1, 2, and the 6. Save this bacon for a future recipe. And we're gonna wanna chop up some green onions. Again, this is only good if you're not on carnivore. If you're on carnivore, strict carnivore, don't add the green onions. Still gonna be good without it. But if you are keto, you can feel free to add some green onions chopped up as well. It kind of depends on what your preferences are, what your diet is. It's interesting because I'm generally on keto, not carnivore, but I've been really thinking about doing a 30-day like carnivore cleanse type thing. And I was trying to figure out what is carnivore and what's not. I'm still trying to like dive into that. And there's a lot of stuff restricted, like very little cheese can even be in some carnivore. Some people on carnivore don't even like cottage cheese. So I'd be interested if you put in the comments what kind of you think is the best for somebody who's never done full-on carnivore before. I've always kind of been keto and never really tried carnivore. So I'd be interested to see what you say in the comments. But even when I was looking at strict keto or carnivore, most of what I did in my carnivore cloud bread meat lovers pizza would be like strict carnivore. The only thing that was maybe questionable was cottage cheese. But that pizza recipe got a ton of views. But as I was thinking about it, I was like, this is like a legit pizza that is okay on the animal-based diet. Like that is really neat and it tasted so good. It's the first time like, I think ever, where my family who is not on carnivore, not on keto, not even interested I don't think, went and ate the whole leftovers of a carnivore pizza I've ever made or any sort of like keto pizza I've ever made. So I thought that was really encouraging. If you haven't watched that video and tried that recipe yet and you're carnivore, you should. I'm like rambling because I'm waiting for the bacon to cook. I'll be back when it's done. All right, so I think our bacon is almost done. I'm gonna go grab it off the skillet there and we're gonna chop it up. I think that looks pretty good, right? I mean, this one's a little like fatty still, but these ones look fine. I mean, it really doesn't matter since it's going into the fat bomb. All right, so we've got our bacon on our plate here. I'm just gonna like degrease it a little bit, just a little bit. It's super scorching hot. Put it on our plate there. Of course, when I say plate, I guess I meant cutting board. See, I just want to eat this bacon. But no, Dave, you're using it for a recipe. I should have made myself an extra piece. Let's be real. Well, this is scorching hot. Yeah, I should let it cool, or maybe not. If I just cut it like this, man, but that hurts my hand. Maybe I'll just wait a second, because it's hurting. All right, so my bacon is finally choppable, and I'm chopping it up into small pieces here, like a pro, although I'm not a pro. And sometimes people new find my channel and they're like, oh my gosh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. So if you're that guy, I know I don't know what I'm doing. You don't need to tell me. I mean, you can if you want to, it makes you feel better, but I know. We're gonna put the bacon in with all our cheeses we mixed up before. So I'm just dropping them in that bowl. And then a 1/4 cup of the green onions, again, only if you're wanting to have vegetables, have, you know, non-animal stuff. You know what we could do? I just had to, maybe I should. Yeah, I should do this. I have an idea. I have a thought. Truffle oil, which is our secret ingredient for our bougie one, is also not carnivore. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a carnivore version and a keto version. Let's see. I mean, I guess the only difference is I have coconut oil in it and you would use duck fat, but other than that, I'll have one version that's like fully carnivore, one that's fully keto, which means I only need half of this. Yeah, like 1/8 of a cup of green onions. And we're gonna take our bowl here. I guess we're gonna mix up the bacon first because they both get bacon. Mix all that up. I'm gonna like move it all to one side and then like split it in half like that and put half in a different bowl. Either way, we're gonna have some delicious breakfast fat bombs. And into one of the bowls, we're gonna add, I don't know, this bowl will add the green stuff and we'll add some truffle oil. We are looking for 1/2 teaspoon of the truffle oil without spilling too much. like so. There we go. All right, do I use a mixer? Sure, let's use a mixer. Okay, so now let me get like a cookie sheet or something. I'll use this just to put them onto. The problem is that one now looks really liquidy. Anyways, let's just see what we can do. We take our egg, and oh, we're supposed to cut it in half. We want a half a hard-boiled egg. So you take your egg, which way do we cut it? This way? Let's cut it this way. Okay, then you take some of your little mixture here. You're supposed to flatten it in the palm of your hand, and then plop the egg in the middle. Oh man, this is way slimier than I expected, I'll be honest. Oh my goodness. Prepare to get messy. There. Okay, one. All right, so this is maybe a smaller recipe because I think I'm only gonna get like 2 of this, this kind. 2. Okay. Let me get the rest of it. I mean, there's a little more, but not enough for a whole nother egg, so we'll just plop it on there and make them extra large. Okay, so a couple things. Number one is this was supposed to be like a parchment paper lined pan, which it will now be. There we go. It's all good. We did it perfect. Number 2, it says you can do other upgrades, right? 1, you can sprinkle everything seasoning on them. You can roll them in pork rinds crushed up. These are options. So I will go ahead and add some everything seasoning to one of these. I don't want to do it on both just in case I don't like it. The other one I'm going to leave as is, and then we're going to make 2 more with this other kind. This is a more fancy kind. And this is going to have to go into the fridge to firm up, if you couldn't tell, guys. I did look at the recipe. That is what it says. So it's got to go into the fridge to firm up and create the more portable fat bomb. I guess it's gonna firm. It makes sense because it's cream cheese and other cheeses. It makes sense that it would firm up, but man, it's a real mess to make, I'll tell you that. And this one's worse because that truffle oil was wet and it made it even more slimy and disturbing. But you know what? No one needs to know. You can put gloves on if you want to. If you are, you know, if you're making these for others and you want to not get your hand all over it. Now I'm the one that's gonna eat all of these, so I don't really care. All right, there we go. We got 4 big old fat bombs. And I'm gonna throw some pork rinds on this one. So this will be like our pork rind test. You know, test it in all 4 ways. And then they've got to sit in the fridge for like an hour or 2, and then we're gonna come back and try them and see if they're worth making. I'll let you know. All right, guys, it's been an hour and a half since we put our fat bomb, breakfast fat bombs in the fridge. And look at that, they kinda did firm up. I imagine they'd get even more firm the longer you kept them in there, but check it out. So you could literally have this as like, you know, your breakfast in the morning. I don't know if you'd use your hands. You'd probably use like a fork and knife because I feel like they're still a little slimy. So we're gonna go ahead and try them. This is the more carnivore one. That's pretty good. It's a pretty good little breakfast. Oh, you know, I don't want to eat the whole thing. See, I'm tempted to eat the whole thing, but I've got to try it. All 4 of these, so I should hold off. That coconut oil really gives it the fat bomb vibe that you get if you make your own fat bombs, for sure. But then it tastes just like breakfast, like you just had a big bite of breakfast. So it's kind of a cool mixture. Let's try this one that just has the truffle oil, and we'll see if that's better. It's also got the green onions. A lot more going on flavor-wise in that one. It is more fun. I do prefer it, but not everyone likes truffle oil. But really the green onions are what are making me like it. Okay, so we're gonna try this one with the everything bagel seasoning now. That one took me over the edge. I couldn't eat that one. Here's what's wrong with this recipe. I'm having a lot of questionable recipes lately. It's too much, too densely cheesy, cream cheesy. I don't know, it's overwhelming. The first like bite I had, like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. Second bite, I was like, yeah, it's pretty decent. Third bite of the third one, I was like, oh, no more cream cheese, no more. It's like eating straight cream cheese and cheddar cheese and just all these cheeses together. The coconut oil, it's hard to eat, is my conclusion with that. Like, I don't even want to try the last one. That's where I'm at. Like, I'd rather just have a hard-boiled egg and maybe some like cream cheese or something on the side. I mean, I don't know. I feel, I don't know. It's a fail. That's the result today. I don't like this very much. I don't necessarily recommend you do it. But guys, on this channel, we're always honest. And you know, that's my honest opinion on this one. It's not great. I would rather just have a hard-boiled egg and maybe something else on the side. If you want to try them, go for it. I mean, it is definitely a great way to get the fat content you need on your keto or carnivore diet. and maybe there's some adjustments we could make to make it better. One thing I was thinking is if it was thinner on the outside, much thinner coating of the ingredients, it'd be way better. But like the fact that I've got like 2 inches of, or an inch of cream cheese on here because it was falling apart, I think that's probably the biggest part of the problem. Like, okay, so maybe there's a way to salvage it, because honestly, I think if you were to do it like this and put a little bit of this stuff on the top, it would probably be a treat, right? Just like, that's like a deviled egg, right? Yeah, that was very tasty. It was like an elevated hard-boiled egg. I know many of you have tuned out now, but you loyalists who are still here watching, what ChatGPT said originally is to use cut in half hard-boiled eggs or quail eggs. Now, quail eggs are tiny. Quail eggs are like that big. So as you can imagine, if you had a quail egg, you could do a very tiny, thin coating of this over the quail egg, and there'd be little bites of egg with this topping on it. And I bet that would be really good. But today we failed again, guys. Comment below, what would you have done different? Why did it fail? And make sure you subscribe for more fun in the kitchen and cooking with me, Dave. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.